Hello, this is Fat Mystic Wizard from Team Jawin coming at you with a top 10 discussion. Now, a while back, me and our team did a top cards we wanted reprinted, but keyword wanted, not necessarily needed. So I'm going to capitalize on that and make it top 10 cards that actually do need a reprint. Now, number one, they could not have been recently released. So no Phantasme, no Tsuchinoko, even though that's good enough for a reprint. Basically, anything from Soul Fusion forwards is excluded from this. Also, it could not have recently had a reprint. In the past 4 months, I gave it 4 to 5 months area. Anything older than that is fair game. Three, I'm excluding all prize cards because that is a unique scenario in and of itself. And number four, it doesn't have to be expensive to be on this list. There are some cards that are just waiting for that one piece of Forbidden Limited List support to come back, or new wave of support, or new deck to break it to where it would be a reprint would be necessary at that point. So without further ado, top 10 cards that the TCG needs to reprint. So starting out at number 10, we have Spell Canceller. This card, like I said, is a card that right now doesn't have a lot of potential right now. It only has two printings, both of them being high rarity reprints from sets that predate GX, which was Dark Revelations 2, I do believe, or 1 of the two, and the original Magician's Force. Like, right now, this, depending on what print, is anywhere from $5 to $25. But 25 is mainly for the first dead Mirror Mint collector's editions for Magician's Force. But back in Necros format, this got bought out, like severely bought out to it was a $20-$30 Ultra. And I think that needs a reprint. That way, if a spell intensive deck that's like on Sky Striker level, another one comes out, that will be ready for it. So, Spell Canceller is my number 10. For my number 9, I have Hysteric Sign. Its last reprinting was in Megaton 2014, which that and Legacy of Lord of the Tachyon Galaxy were its only two printings. Even so, the Megaton prints are floating about $6 for the Super, $8 for the OG. And Harpies have gotten a lot of new support recently in the Legend of Roses set. And they're probably about to get their Link monster, which does quite a bit for the deck. But this card being hard to get a hold of is a problem. So I think that Hysteric Side needs to be reprinted for the Harpy Ladies. More than likely in Battles of Relentless Revenge, or Heroes Revenge, excuse me, where I think they'll put the Harpy Link. You just don't reprint Harpy Dancer and Dual Power for no random reason. So number 9 is Hysteric Sign. For my number 8, I have Super Quantum Red Layer. Really good card, used outside of its own deck, and the only card outside the rank 5 link that hasn't been link Q rank 5 exceeds that hasn't been reprinted. Magnus got his reprint in Dual Power, but they conveniently forgot to reprint Red Layer, which to me has more meta relevance as a single card than Magnus does. And they're about to get new support in Dark Neostorm. Where's a Red Layer reprint? Last I checked, this guy was floating at about $10 a copy. But if that deck were to do something, even with the severe killing of the or hindering of the deck with the limited Brilliant Fusion and banning a Soul Charge, that card could potentially jump. That don't even include if Monarch cards don't come off the list, which would cause it to jump even higher. So, Red Layer is my number 8. For my number 7, we have El Shadal Anoia Tillis. Now, we just got Construct reprinted, which I called they would reprint her first because she had just come back and she is a fan favorite. Most people here can't hate Shadal Construct. Not my favorite deck in the world, but even I like Construct as a card. So, but the fact of the matter is, Anoia Tillis is constantly going up to 20, dropping down to 10, jumping back up, back and forth, because it's never had a reprint outside of its original set in Cross Souls all the way back in 2015. It hasn't had a reprint it hasn't had a reprint at all, and it's been out for 4 years. Now, I could have argued that El Shadal Shekinaga could be put on this list too because it trains, but at least it has a Megaton print to at least help keep the price down. But for now, Anoia Tillis is the one that really needs the reprint, especially if Netcross do take off the ground. I think Netcross will become very popular here soon, as will Shadal's if they decide to bump Construct higher on the list. For number 6, we have the Cosmo cards. Now, the reason I didn't pick an individual one is because this is more of an entire set that didn't get reprinted. Now, for those that don't know, Cosmo was a TCG exclusive archetype that was divided among 4 sets. which was Clash of Rebellions, which was the very first set. It was Dimension of Chaos, which skyrocketed the deck to where it was in its boss monster, Dark Destroyer. Breakers of Shadow, which everybody remembers that set, and Shining Victories. The way all the cards from Dimension of Chaos and Clash of Rebellions were reprinted in the premium gold as gold secret rares, as you can see in my Dark Destroyer here, gold secret rare. But the second wave was just forgotten about. And when you have things like Tin Can floating at 10s, Cosmojos floating at 15s, Dark Ladies floating at 8s to 10s, Eclipsers about 7s, and these are cards that you need anywhere from 1 to 3 copies per deck. And I honestly think with Dark Destroyer coming back to 3, this deck is just getting more popular, and I think these cards need reprint to drop the value down a bit. Battles of Legend is a really good place to reprint stuff like this, so especially Cosmojo and Tin Can are the two really big ones, as is Dark Lady. But anywho, for number 6 is the Cosmo cards. For my number 5, we have Ignis Heat, the True Draco Warrior. That is the only relevant card in True Dracos that wasn't reprinted in the Megatins, and to this day, I don't know why. Now, originally I thought the argument, well, they knew they were going to ban Masterpiece, that's why they cut him. And they thought they was limited. But then at that point, if they thought, well, this card's still limited, why wasn't Masterpiece in there? Which means they knew they were banning Masterpiece and bringing Ignis back, which means Ignis should have been in the Megatins. Dynamite Fighter was at 1, which was fine. Why it wasn't reprinted, that's okay. Return, not being reprinted yet again, it's fine because you only needed 1 of it anyways. Majesty Bane and True Draco Heritage were really the only holo cards plus Diagram that were reprinted in the Megatins, and Diagram already had a reprint in Relentless Revenge. So Ignis Heat is a part of a very popular rogue deck, True Dracos, and I think that needs to be more accessible to players. So Ignis Heat is number 5. For number 4 is the Hidden City. I called this several times, and I regret not picking these up. The Hidden Cities for the longest time were 7s to 8s apiece, and I called it that the minute Guru was announced for the TCG, that card will get bought out and stay bought out because of Guru control. And I was correct. The only thing I wasn't correct about was where they were going to put it. I didn't expect them to put it in a synchro-oriented set. The fact that Hidden City is now floating $40, because Hidden City, for those that don't know, just like the Spiral archetype and the Cosmo archetype, never got a Megatin reprint. If we had a Megatin print of the Hidden City, this probably wouldn't be as high as it was. I think they'd be 20s at that point, which is more fair for the card, but they wouldn't be the 40s and 50s that they're at now. And it's crucial for the deck, pure or control, to function. So I think the Hidden City needs to be reprinted. The reason I didn't pick Archer or Umastrix is those are usually not mandatory in 3-ofs, and Umastrix was an ultra rare, so it wasn't that hard to get a hold of anyway. So Hidden City is my number 4. For number 3, Blue Eyes Alternative Dragon. Man, I just don't know why. As many reprints, quote-unquote, reprints that this card has gotten, it's still floating 15 to 20 to 30 bucks depending on the copy. Every other Blue Eyes card has gotten a reprint, nerfing its value. Why is Alternative still floating $15 to $20? They reprinted Chaos Max twice with the archetype art, because of that archetype, and it was in the same set. It was reprinted in the Legendary Duelist Kaiba pack, and it was reprinted in Dual Power. But where is Alternative Dragon, which is required for both versions to play? And it's only been printed in the movie packs, the gold versions, the unlimited running of the originals, and then the original. It's not had a reprint. Give us Alternative for Blue Eyes players so they can play the deck budget. That is literally the only card preventing Blue Eyes players from playing the deck budget. So, Alternative at number 3. For number 2, we have Droll and Lockbird. This card, I don't count the OTS ulti as a reprint. It is, but it doesn't do what the point of a reprint is to lower the price of a card. Droll and Lockbird is one of those hand traps that's the only one that's not truly easily accessible. Right now. You just reprint all 4 Ghost Girls and Ghost Power, and none of them were short printed. I thought Ghost Girl was going to get short printed, but they didn't. But Ash was made as a common, Ogre was reprinted how many times? Reaper has been reprinted how many times? And Ghost Bell is easy to pull, yet Droll is hard to pull in any set it's in. It was an OTS Super, an OTS 1. We had the Kaiba collection print where it was hard to pull. Star Strike Blast, don't even get me started on that set. And an Ultimate Rare in OTS 9. Or no, was it 9 or 8? I can't remember. It was one of the two. But the fact that this card still, for all prints, float 15, 16 plus dollars a copy, that needs to stop. I hope they put it in the structure deck, the Endymion structure deck, like the OCG did. That'll finally kill that card's price. So, Droll and Lopbird is my number 2. For my number 1, an honorable mention is the... Hold on. My honorable mention is the original effect monster, the Winged Dragon of Ra. This is a card that, no matter what print, because of Raw Spear Mode shenanigans, is starting to hit, even for the super rare Order of Chaos special edition, started to hit $6, $7 last I checked. Now, those have been dropped since then. But the fact that a lot of the prints of Ra, the original Winged Dragon of Ra, are starting to become really expensive because of that play. And they keep reprinting Spear Mode and Immortal Phoenix, but they haven't reprinted Raw since Legendary Dex 2. And it's like that box is impossible to find. The Jump promo is like hard to find. Premium Gold is impossible to find. So yeah, that was the honorable mention. So for the number 1 reprint, and if people didn't see this coming, Elemental Hero Air Neos. Every Neos card that is expensive, that was expensive, Magma Neos, Chaos Neos, I think Storm Neos did, Divine Neos, Miracle Contact, all the Elemental Heroes fusions, and even the Neospatians, even Glowmoss finally got his holo. But the fact that you can't play the deck because Air Neos is floating $60 flippin' dollars for the ultra rare, and the ultimate is just asininely at last I checked, $180, $200 for near mints. This is a card that's needed for the deck to function, and every time they've had a chance to reprint it, they keep skipping it. Please, Konami, reprint Elemental Hero Air Neos for those Neos players, because that is one of the best single fusions they have. It's a way for them to make a comeback when they're in a bad situation, and I think it's needed for the deck to function. But the fact that it hasn't ever had a reprint, when pretty much every other member in the archetype has got reprint at one point or another, and it's never had one. So that is my number 1. Now, like I said, I did not put prize cards on this, but one that's just a general overall that needs a reprint, in my opinion, this is not this is just a more like a bonus round thing, is Blood Memphis. You've heard me talk about this in our top 5 cards we want reprinted in Relentless Revenge, my top 5 reprints. You've heard me talk about Blood Memphis. That is the only prize card that the oldest prize card in existence without a reprint. All the Dark Lords got him. Giant Hand, Dvorak, Utopia Kaiser's on his way, Sky's Dragon Ascension Dragon. And I mean, Blood Memphis is still, I think it was the YCS prize card back in 2012. It's like, and synchro decks have gotten pretty popular as of late. Like, we have some synchro decks like Glow Up Ball being splashed in decks. Like, people are going to Borload Savage, and Blood Memphis just can, help finish off an opponent. I just think Blood Memphis really needs to be reprinted. So, that was more of a rant, but you know what? I'm going to go with it. So, those are the top 10 cards plus 2 honorable mentions that need to be reprinted in Yu-Gi-Oh! Realistically. If you agree with this list or disagree, put your opinions down below. And if I forgot something, go ahead and leave it in the comments. We'll see you later. I should see you guys at Indy on May 4th, I do believe. And I should see you at Nationals on June 21st to 23rd in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. So without further ado, this is Wizard signing out.